Restaurant Punk Fest. Let's play tummy sticks.
You and the flaring of the hands.
Hey, leave Georgie jazz hands alone, okay?
Georgie's jazz hands.
Liz loves my jazz hands.
Everybody loves your jazz hands,
Yeah.
George. Everybody.
Who doesn't? Jenny.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we today? How was your weekend?
It's boys' night out.
You know
Boys'
it.
night out for
And
sure.
you're drinking coffee already?
Oh yeah, it's been a long day, long
God
weekend.
damn, man.
For sure. What do you guys want to talk about today?
Well, you're getting married in
Yeah.
6 days.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Let's talk about
what do you guys
that.
want to talk about today?
How about being married and how about owning a restaurant or a business and being a restaurateur or even an entrepreneur? What changes between being married and being in a relationship? George, on one hand, and his wife, who is not his wife, are
Baby
not
mama.
legally married, correct? And you don't
Correct.
plan on ever getting married.
Correct.
And you guys are okay with that?
Yes.
Is she okay with that?
I think she's getting used to it now.
Oh, for sake.
She's never gonna.
On the other hand, Nico is getting married, but for the second time. And how long has it been since you split
2010.
with your baby mama? 2000.
Well, we split in 2007.
so
But
what's going to
officially
change?
divorced in 2010.
What's going to change after you get married? Anything going to change?
Nothing's
as
gonna
far as how
change.
you run
Not-
the
You
not
got a
from my
prenup?
end.
You got a prenup?
No prenup. It's not required.
Connie says get a prenup.
Well, I mean, she knows what she was getting into. She's
You?
known me for 8 years, so it's not like this is all new to her. Like, oh my God, you're not going to be around, blah 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 blah, as much. It's going to be the same thing. Just it makes her happy,
She knows
makes
the
her
business
family
though.
happy.
She knows the restaurant business.
of
Yeah.
course.
She knows the ins and outs and how to work and our hours
Correct,
are.
100%.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Nico's future wife, Kate, and anybody else is that she is already an entrepreneur herself.
Correct.
So she speaks the
Our
language.
language,
The language of business.
Which I think is a major difference. So I would put George in the same scenario because Jenny was not an entrepreneur, restaurateur.
not at all.
She
Nothing.
followed your lead and she's learned the business.
Yeah, she speaks
And
the language now, yeah.
it actually seems better because now you're both stressed as opposed to just you being
She
stressed.
talks too
and-
much to me about it, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah, because even not working together,
Yeah.
you both see each other at home and how was your day? This mother didn't show up on time. The dishwasher
Yeah.
broke and and then
Yeah.
you guys just share that as opposed to where Kate is not in the restaurant business.
Correct.
Mhm.
But she could be. But I think when you put the word marriage on like that label, there's now an expectation of things. Well, you're my wife. You're supposed to be there. Or you're my husband. You have to do this because this, that, and everything else.
I don't think
Whereas-
she's not going to be like that, though. She's
Not
gonna-
saying she is, but a
Oh,
lot
I
of
thought
people
you- okay.
are. There's a different
Well, yeah,
label. There's a
it's a
different
title now,
tier.
you know what I'm saying?
Correct,
I get what you're
correct.
saying, yeah.
When you're dating somebody, or as long as you guys have, I mean, you guys are practically married anyway. It's not the same.
No, not.
I'm sorry, are you talking to me?
No, sorry.
You
Talking
guys. You
to-
said you guys, right?
He did say you guys.
And by you guys, I mean George and Jenny.
Bravo. Okay.
Sorry, I apologize
Well, let me
for
ask you
that.
guys a question.
Yanni's married.
Just for our, very funny.
To Jose.
Oh,
Cuervo.
Cas amigos. That's his mistress.
Nice Adam's apple.
For anybody that's listening or watching, I think I'd like to segue into finances and your spouse or your significant other. So not to get too personal,
It's okay.
but
I'm broke, bitch.
why don't we just hang? Yeah, why don't we just put it out there? Let me ask George. Let me start with you. When it comes to finances, you have your business account, which
Correct.
is for your businesses.
Mhm.
Do you have a personal account?
Yes.
Okay. When it comes to your significant other, Jenny,
Mm-hmm.
does she have her own personal account?
Yes.
Okay, so you both have personal accounts. You both have business accounts. Do you have a joint account personally?
Used to, not anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah, not anymore.
I'm sorry. What kind of joint account was it though?
It was just one bank account together, and we both had the same
savings,
card.
checkings,
Yeah,
business.
it was
savings,
checkings. It was checkings card. Yeah, yeah.
But like personal.
It was personal. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, I was like, you spend too much.
So you guys didn't have it segregated to where it was only for this specific thing.
Yeah, no,
It
it
was,
was
we can
yeah.
just dip in there and do whatever we want.
Yeah.
That's different. Yeah. That's
So
different.
that stopped. Now, was this before Jenny, your significant other, got into business for herself?
Stopped. Yes.
Okay.
Oh well. Business when she for the restaurant business or business when she was cleaning houses.
Oh, good point.
So-
I did not mention. Yes, Jenny was cleaning house. Okay. With
So
her own
she
business,
had her
correct.
own. Yeah. So it's actually started when she became pregnant with our son. That's when we joined it together, and that was 5 years ago.
Okay.
And then we stopped. I stopped about actually right before COVID.
So
Yeah.
we have two business accounts, two personal accounts, And then in the middle, there was a joint account
Yeah.
personally,
Mhm.
and now there is not.
Not
Has that affected your relationship whatsoever?
No.
Not having a joint account?
No, it does not. It makes it easier.
It does make it
Yeah.
easier. I think there's role definition when it comes to that. We
Yeah.
talk about role definition all the time when it comes to the restaurant group or.
I mean, if she needs money, I help her as much as I can. So
Now, I'm assuming Nico's going to have a different answer. So I'm just going
Correct.
to segue. Did you say correct?
I did say correct. I do have a
Correct.
different system. I mean, that's not a bad way or not a good way or whatnot, but I just do things a little differently.
Well, George, would you advise anybody listening or watching to do it your way?
hell no.
Not to have a joint account? With your How about if your wife or significant other is not in business and she is a housewife? Do you believe in having a joint account where she can go and spend, or do you want her to ask you for money?
We're talking like 50s old school allowances.
That's not okay.
You get $100 a week.
I'll reverse the
Do the
roles.
dishes. We're canceled already. The fucking
we're not.
2022
No,
canceled.
we're not. We're not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I just didn't like the joint account because we were raised differently. So I had brothers and sisters, and she had an only child. She was an only child. So the way she spent money was different from the way I spent money. So it's like I know how to save money and whatnot, and penny pinch, and
What
I
did you
can.
just say?
I'd like to make a point before we
Penny
go to
pinch.
Nico.
You said you like to save money?
Yeah, not now. Sorry, Nico.
So just saying.
Yeah.
George and I are self-proclaimed not the best with money
The worst
in business, meaning.
in business. Yes.
In other words, a lot of you out there are bean counters. What does that mean? Save a penny, lose a dollar. I would put George in the same boat as I when it comes to business and reinvesting in your business for growth. The flip side of that coin is I'll use Nico as an example. Nico is excellent with
The best.
money. However, he is not a bean counter. What does that mean? It means he's very aware of where the money's going and he's much more organized. I'm a self-proclaimed slob. You know, if you look at my car, if you look at my, I don't know, room or whatnot, I'm
you're not
not
a
too
slob
well.
at all.
So we talk a lot about refinement and growth. And I think growth costs money. You just got to go. And I think refinement is just, I think you're excellent
You
at
have
that.
to
He's-
spend money to make money.
yeah, but he has years on me, like 10 years.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but-
what are you like 47, 48?
No,
close, but it's okay.
I mean, God, you're old, man.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Nico, can you tell us about your experience as far as you and Kate have been together for
8 years.
8 years?
Correct.
So Nico is about to get married to Kate in a few days.
Big mistake.
Is anything going to change? And I'm not talking about prenups or whatnot. I'm just talking about cash flow. As far as she has her business accounts, similar
Yeah.
to you and Jenny. You have, I'm assuming, 2 personal accounts, one for you, one for her? Or do you guys just share a joint account?
A little bit of all. The business has its own account, the restaurant business.
And her business.
And the other 2 businesses have their own accounts. So there's the Collar and Bone account, there's the Muddy Paws account, there's the Vintage account, all business.
Okay.
We each have our own personal accounts, separate, and then we also have a joint account that is for the house.
I'm sorry, let me
So-
stop you right there real
okay.
quick. Just to clarify for everybody, Collar and Bone and Muddy Paws are.
Oh, Collar and Bone and Muddy Paws are businesses in K-May County. Collar and Bone is a boutique, I want to say, like a upper class kind of boutique in
Or like a
K-May.
wolf teak.
For dogs, it also has, homemade dog ice cream and treats of that nature.
Sorry, I just wanted to clarify for
I
everybody.
apologize. And Muddy Paws is a self-service dog wash with also a smaller boutique, but it's not the same as the bigger one, which is in North K-May. So it was one of the first ones, actually was the first one in K-May County. We opened it up.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
5-6 years ago, correct. But going back to what we were talking about, each of the business has its own checking account. And then we each have our own personal accounts, checking as well. But then we also have a joint account that's for the house. And what that means is that, we figure out for the year what our mortgage is going to be, our taxes, utilities, and then we just, split it up evenly within, per month. So 12 months. So that's pretty much what we put in monthly from each side into this account to pay for the house, to pay for the mortgage and the taxes. So technically it's like a rent payment that we each know how to, so
Okay.
we know
Yeah.
we're not dipping into each other. We don't have to ask, pay your rent, this, that, and everything else. It just automatically goes. We know $1,200 a month from each of us goes into this account to be able to pay for the mortgage, to be able to pay for the utilities, electric, water, whatever it needs to be, and taxes. And if we decide that we want to upgrade the house or whatnot,
Use that money.
we'll also say, let's add an extra $100 per month for the next whatever. And that we will have that money just saved in there to be able to, I don't know, buy whatever we need for the house. But that's it.
It sounds pretty structured.
Yeah.
She can get whatever she wants. She wants to pay for anything she can. I can do the same as long as it's not affecting us as a whole.
With
As
your
long-
personal accounts.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, for all of you that don't know, I just bought a 67 Camaro. I wanted it for 20 some years. It's been a
Rainmaker.
passion of mine, you know, and I said, listen, I found one. I want to get it. I have enough. Everything's fine. She's like, do it then. Like, simple, do it then.
And that's the difference between refinement and growth. Right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I would put off what I want until later and just do something else. It doesn't mean it's stupid. It doesn't mean I'm bad with money. It just means that I'm happy for you. There are things that I want too. It's just, what's that thing I always tell you guys about? That thing they, in the old times, they used to squish your head until you would
The
talk.
vice
The vice
or
grip.
whatever.
grip?
Yeah.
I just feel like my vice grip can go a lot every year that goes by. It just gets tighter and tighter. And I mean, I love that fucking car. It's beautiful. And I'm like, I want it, but no, squeeze it some more. Keep going. Let's go. Let's go until we pop.
He made a valid point on that. He's like, well, why don't you take that money and invest it into something for the group, for the restaurants, for the investment, whatnot? And I said to him, you're 100% correct on that. It was one of those rare moment instances where you couldn't really afford not to, as I like to say. Like it was presented.
I'm
It was
just
like,
take it. Yeah.
Understood.
I'm not going to be able to find. They're rare.
Yeah.
They're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not like you can find another spot like restaurant. I mean, you
There's
know,
no
every
right or wrong answer.
every
Yeah.
no.
I
But
didn't
I'm
mean it
saying
like that.
no. But I'm just saying that you should always invest to make more money to be able to get what you want for growth of the business, whether it's your business as a group, your wife's business, your girlfriend's business. It doesn't matter. Always invest. You know, what was that one thing that you taught me? Believe it or not, I've learned so much from you. Not even blowing smoke
Don't be
up
a
your
fool.
ass.
Wrap your tool.
For me.
He said, no, I remember this specifically. Yanni said, take $1,000, put it in your drawer, and leave it there for a year. After a year, take it out. What do you have? $1,000 still. Nothing happened. It's still the same. But what did happen around you? Possible inflation, things went up. You technically lost money. You take that $1,000, you invest it into something that will make you more money in the end. That'll make your money growing. You know, it's just the way it
Yeah.
has to be. You have to invest. You have to take that risk. If you're lucky enough to take low risks, fine, great, but you still have to make that one major risk that could change or break everything, but you're never going to know. My friend Michael Scott used to say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't make. You know, you don't take them, and it is what it is. And he's right. Like you have to take those risks. You never know what's going to come out. You might lose, you might win, but
It's a
you'll never
gamble.
know if you don't do it.
Just
you
do
know?
it.
Right? We talked about a boom mic for the studio here
Correct.
and how much it cost. And there's a possibility we're not going to use it. But that's the cost of doing business.
The cost.
And I'll also segue into, we talked about finances with your spouse or significant other. I'll segue into why I don't like, me personally, partners on an LLC. In essence,
No.
it's the same exact thing. It's a joint account.
Bad.
You guys are both on an LLC operating. Let's use restaurants. You're both on the LLC operating. Okay. George and Jenny, who you guys will meet, used to have a joint account, but now they don't. It just doesn't work. Nico and Kate, his future wife, okay, have a joint account, but there's structure, there's rules, there's boundaries. Now, if you can operate, because some people argue that you can partner up and be on a limited liability corporation and operate a restaurant together, as long as you follow the rules. It doesn't always work out that
Doesn't
way.
always work out that way.
Me personally, I cannot do it.
No
So,
way.
George, I'm stuck in your boat. So, I think there's an argument on both sides. And
There
I
is an
like the
argument.
structure that you guys have. I like the structure that you guys have. I just lean more towards the right. And I think when growth doesn't become part of the formula and you lean more towards refinement, I think I could be more structured. I'm just scared that I'm going to be like this until I die.
And that's okay. The problem is that, and it's not even a problem, you have control issues. And I mean that in a very positive way. I'm not saying that in a negative way.
Who's saying me or him?
I'm sorry. Are you pointing to me
talking
or
Yanni,
George? Oh.
Because I have control issues either, but not in the way you guys are thinking.
You
You want to be
You
able
like tied down?
You want to be able to have the control to say, you know what?
Our producer is looking at me, shaking our head.
But hear me out. When you have full control, when you're the only person in the LLC, it's your restaurant, okay?
Yeah.
I want to close tomorrow. Done. You closed. You deal with the positives and the negatives of it, but you did it. When you have a partner, you have to go through the partner. They might say, no, I don't want to close. But you're like, it's best if we do close. No, we're not going to close because just in case. And then it becomes an issue. And that's what I'm saying about control. You have full control of what you want to do with your business, okay? And that goes with the monies. I know this costs $4,000, but I need to get it for the restaurant. It'll do great. And you're probably like, absolutely not. Like, we're not going to make it. Like, we need that $4,000 for something else. And it's like you have that now clashing of what you think is best for the business and what is not best for the business according to your partner. Because they might be wrong or you might be wrong, but at the same token, it's not like saying, let's just do it and figure it out. It's the risk taking again. And it's a control thing.
I like taking risks.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing when I said it, but you need to be in full control because that's your creation. That's your envisionment. That's what you want to do and how you want to do it because that's what you've created. And yes, you need a support team to help you with the support. And there might be something to be like, absolutely not. But the constant having to check, having to figure out if two people are not on the exact same page, no matter what, it'll never work properly, in my opinion. And I know it has worked for other people, but easily, smoothly, without any problems, without 50,000 meetings to make it to an agreement, I don't think so, And that's, again, with me and Kate, it's the same thing. She knows I have those control issues. And like I'm saying, it's not in a bad way, but what I want to do, and I want to do it the way I want to do it. And if people don't like it, it falls upon nobody else besides me. If somebody doesn't like something that I made, it's not because of somebody else, it's because of me.
What you did, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then it doesn't fall upon anybody else but me. And that way I can make my own changes if I need so. And honestly, if they don't like it, they can go f themselves because I believe in it that much, it's going to happen. Sorry.
That was nice.
That was really good, Nico.
Shit,
I'm kind of inspired. That was really good.
A small chub right now.
So, on that note, I think that there's a short answer and there is a long answer.
Don't get married. Got it. Love it. That's a great answer.
It's a beautiful place. Beautiful place.
Oh, well, you're going to find out again in a couple days.
Again.
And then just let us know, if anything changes after you put a ring on it.
Nothing's going to change.
You heard it here, folks, at Restaurant Punk. Nothing is going to change.
It's not
And
fiance anymore. Now it's wife. It's all right.
This is coming from a man who has been married before. Okay?
Well, that was I'm not going to say it.
From Restaurant Punk, I'm Yanni. This is Nico. This is George.
What?
We're going to leave you with once an accident, twice your fault.
3 times.
Peace. In Greece.